Good day, viewers, and welcome to another Onside SA soccer show. Paul is away in Johannesburg on business, and joining me shortly will be our UK correspondent Stevie Brahm, who's in our Fulham studio. But we kick off, as always, with our last one standing soccer competition. Heading into week 2, we had 447 entries going through. 375 were correct. 158 cruised through on Chelsea. West Ham, 91 entries squeaked through due to that disgraceful last-minute penalty. 82 on Tottenham were also lucky to go through, but 29 Southampton entries cantered through. Leicester City got a dubious penalty, while Man United was a shock of the round, to me anyway, so 2 people went through there, and 2 people also went through on Crystal Palace. 35 entries sadly went out with Arsenal, 20 on Brighton, 7 on Leeds United, 4 on Newcastle, 3 on Liverpool, 2 on Everton, and 1 unfortunate soul on Manchester City. Our pick of the round, without any shadow of doubt, has to be Man United. Vivian Woodley, one of our former winners, and Robbie Burns selected Man United. Very brave picks, guys, especially as you both support Liverpool. Our 2 main members have gone through. Greg Field and Mark Curry both cruised through with 10 entries. But our 2 special mention, my apologies, goes to 2 guys that have started with us since the competition began. Garth Whitehead, who is known as Colours, and Fafo, because he was the first guy that gave me the 100 Rand. Fafo, because he's normally the first man out. So Garth, well done for getting to round 3. Also, Roger Lavo. He's the main man in the Lavo camp. Roger's also been a staunch stalwart, and getting to round 3 for the first time is a great achievement. In no particular order, I'm going to give you a few people who I think can get to the last 10. From my Durban North crew, Ajit Singh and Clive Ganas. As far as our ladies, Renee Roos and Milan Lavo are always in contention, but I think Carla Quintus and Linda Connolly will have a great competition. As far as our golfing men go, I think Frankie Cullen and Gavin Wright have also got a chance. Our Hollywood members, I've got Vinal Mudley, Vernon Jansen, and Darren Fox, who I meet every Thursday and are expected to have a good run. Our Johannesburg guys, a man who finished 3rd in our first competition, Philip Dimitriatis. I think Philip's due for a good run. And on to the Marshalls guys, I've got Mark Angel and his protege, Saneran Mutasamy, who plays for the Dolphins and also played for the Proteas. Both staunch football people, and I think they'll go close. As far as my club tab and soccer members go, I think ex-Durban United right back, Graham Pazane, is due for a good run. Mark Anderson of Da Vinci Clothing, and Basil Muir, one of the staunch Umbilo Patriots, he's due. Graham Hawkins from Gold Circle has started the competition well. But as far as our UK contingent goes, I think it's time my mate from Manchester, Nigel Swinbank, had a great run. We now go over to our UK correspondent, Stevie Brahm, in our Fuller studio. Steve, good morning. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning, Bud. I think you missed 1 or 2 out in your. I didn't hear my name mentioned. As,
Steve, I was going to give you your chance in the sun, but well done, round 3. And just remember, there's one definition you have to play by: don't pick Tottenham.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was thinking that anybody on Tottenham was going to go out on the Sunday afternoon.
How did they squeak in?
Smart, thinking, well, thank goodness I didn't pick them, but they squeaked through.
Yeah, I thought they'd score plenty of goals, especially after the way Fulham destroyed them. Steve, I've got a lot of Liverpool fans. I've got my 2 brothers. They're on my shoulder, harping how great they are. They've had a bad start injury-wise. What's the latest with Joe Gomez?
Yeah, I think we're still waiting to hear how serious or not it is. I think they're hopefully it's not overly serious, but he's got. I feel sorry for him. He's got a shocking injury record for such a young guy. I mean, he hasn't played a season without injury, so it's turning into a nightmare for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. I mean, Van Dijk out for the season, Fabinho then gets injured, and now Gomez. I mean, he could end up having to play, a couple of really sort of raw centre halves in coming games. And they've got a lot of games coming up.
Yeah, well, also maybe he can play 6 forwards like he did against Man City, but really sad news, especially if you're a Liverpool fan. A good mate of mine, Ken Moby, he's a Dinkum Scouser. He sent me the clip. He's distraught. He thinks the league's over. Do you agree with him?
Look, it's it's a funny league anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I think without fans there, you sort of lost home advantage to a certain extent. You know, we've already seen some crazy results. Yeah. You know, there they are. They're still sitting near the top without sort of playing anywhere near as well as they can. So I don't think it's over because, you know, I don't think City are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, they've got to get some players back from injury. We know Van Dijk's out. You know, if ever there was a case for them to go and splash the cash in January, if they can, to pick up quality centre half, I think this is it.
Yeah. Steve, before we head into the Nations League fixtures, there are two, well, especially concerning the British teams, two Euro 2021 qualifiers. Serbia plays Scotland and Northern Ireland plays Slovakia. Any chance they can both sneak through?
Well, I mean, Scotland are having one of their best runs in years.
Yeah.
You know, they're very quietly. They've gone about their business and they're playing well. Serbia have been very disappointing recently. I mean, in the Nations League itself, they haven't won. They've drawn a couple.
Yeah.
They're obviously not firing. I mean, Mitrovic is, you know, who normally scores a lot of goals for Serbia, has got a bit quiet recently, as he has for Fulham.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a tough one for Scotland because it is in Serbia, and I think Serbia probably are still slight favourites.
Okay.
Northern Ireland, I mean, at home to Slovakia, they've not played well recently, not got any very good results. But again, home advantage might count for something for them, but that's going to be a tough game as well.
Okay. Steve, there was a problem with the coronavirus with the Denmark players not being allowed to go. What is that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite serious. So there was an outbreak of coronavirus amongst the mink population in northern Denmark that a number of people evidently may have caught from the minks. So basically, there's a huge sort of quarantine issue going on with Denmark. So Premier League clubs are not allowing any of their players to travel to Denmark to play in tonight's friendly or the Sunday game against Iceland. Otherwise, they would have to quarantine for 2 more weeks when they come back.
Yeah.
So we know that, as it stands, players like Kasper Schmeichel, Pierre Højbjerg, the Brentford guys, they won't be able to play for Denmark and then come back to the UK. So Denmark have called up a whole load of sort of homegrown players to play in those games. I think they can go and play in their game in Belgium, but not if that they can't go to Denmark itself. Now that also causes a bit of a problem for England because they're saying if Iceland are travelling to Denmark at the weekend to play, they're not sure that they can allow the Icelandic players to come into the UK to play England next week. So that hasn't been decided, but what we do know is at the moment it's very unlikely any Premier League players will travel to Denmark to play for them in the home games.
Jeez, okay. Steve, talking in England, we've got League One fixtures that are all in our pools. I'm just going to run through them quickly for you if you don't mind. Bristol City at home to Fleetwood Town. How do you see that going? Yeah,
I mean, Bristol Rovers have had a sort of decent run recently. Fleetwood, as we know, funny sort of team sort of on and off, obviously with Joey Barton at the helm. I think it's going to be a close game. I fancy Bristol Rovers. They've come good recently. So I think if anyone's going to win that one, it'll probably be a home win.
Okay. Crew Alexandra against table toppers Peterborough?
Yeah, I think this is got a away win written all over it. Peterborough having a really good run, top of the table. I think they'll be too strong for Crew.
Okay, Northampton Town versus Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, Accrington, through various reasons, have lost a few games. They've got about 3 or 4 games in hand. I think that'll be a very close game. Accrington have played some nice football this year. Obviously, they had a big defeat in the cup, but I fancy Accrington or a draw there.
Okay, smallest ground apparently in England, or professional ground Accrington. I remember we got lost there. I think they only hold about 1,500 people. But anyway.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah, Shrewsbury against Swindon Town.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bottom 3 clash.
Yeah.
I mean, Shrewsbury have only won 1 all season. Swindon only won 3. I think that's going to be a very tight game. I think that Shrewsbury had 1 or 2 players out injured. They had a good young player from Fulham on loan who's got injured, who's come back.
Okay,
I think that's possibly a home win or a draw there.
Okay, and Sunderland, famous Sunderland at home to MK Dons. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think Sunderland should be too strong for the MK Dons. They came unstuck last week in the Cup, Sunderland, surprisingly, but they've only lost once in the league. I think they'll be a little bit too strong for them, so I fancy a home win there.
All right, Steve, on to Nations League A. The big game for me is Portugal versus France. Two teams top of the group. They drew 0-0 in France. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously the deciding game in the group because the others are rock bottom. I fancy Portugal. I think, again, maybe slight home advantage there.
Yeah.
It was a very tight game over in France, but I think, possibly Portugal, I think it's going to be very close. It's going to be, I can see no more than one goal in it.
Yeah, this could have 0-0 written all over the game. Now, second game is third against fourth in that group, Sweden against Croatia. What's your call?
Yeah, I mean, this is very much dead rubber. Sweden haven't picked up a point.
Yeah.
It's hard to sort of call. It depends how seriously some of the players are going to take it. But, being a dead rubber, you'd fancy Sweden just for home advantage, but I don't think it's going to be much in it either.
Yeah, I think a draw. I fancy Croatia as a bit of a lurker, but I agree it's going to be a tight game. Now, the Germans, I watched them the last time. They beat the Ukraine 2-1 away. They were hanging on at the end. Think this will be an easy victory?
I think that, look, they haven't had a great tournament, but, they always do enough very often to just to scrape through matches, and I think they'll be too strong at home.
All right. And last but not least in that group, Switzerland hosts Spain. I know the Spanish got beat the last time by Ukraine. Any chance the Swiss can upset them?
Yeah, I mean, that was a very surprising result.
Yeah.
Switzerland, at bottom, they haven't played bad. I watched their game against Germany. It was a very good game.
Yeah.
But I think Spain, drew last night in the Netherlands in a friendly. I think Spain should be too strong for them. I can't see. I'd be surprised if Spain lost that. If they did, then obviously it lets Germany in.
Lets the Germans back in, yeah.
I think Spain should be a bit too strong there.
Okay, one team that's really disappointed me late is Netherlands. They host Bosnia-Herzegovina. They drew 0-0 in Bosnia. Do you think they'll get a result here?
Yeah, I think they should do. I mean, if they got any aspirations to win the game in the group, I think that has to be it now. So they've not had a great campaign, but I think they should be too strong for Bosnia at home.
Okay, now the team that let me down last time because I fancied them were Italy. They host Poland. 8-10, a good price, Steve?
Well, it's going to be a tight game. I mean, Italy started off with a great win in the Netherlands.
Yes.
But they've drawn 3 since, and Poland are top of the group. So, Poland know that a point's probably enough there for them. So I think it's going to be a very tight game. Depends if, if Lewandowski's on fire, they've got a chance. And, Italy, they never concede much. I think it's going to be a very tight game. But Italy have to go for it because if they want to win that group, they've got to win that game. So, hopefully it'll be a little bit more exciting than you might otherwise think. So I think they'll be close. I can't see Poland winning, but possibility they could pick up a point there.
Yeah, Lewandowski, you've always got a chance. Now, the game we'll both be watching, Belgium against England. Any chance England can upset them?
Well, this is, the thing for England. If England lose this and Denmark beat Iceland, England can't. Probably can't. They can't finish in the top 3. In the top 2, so I think it's all on. They've got nothing to lose. They've got to go for it. A point probably isn't even enough for England if Denmark win as well, because Denmark have got a better head-to-head after that win at Wembley. So I think it will be tough. I mean, we beat Belgium somehow at Wembley a little while ago, but we don't have overall we haven't got a very good record against Belgium.
Yeah, I think Belgium.
I just wonder,
too good,
with everything that's going on at the moment and the league I just wonder. There's not much excitement here for this.
Yes.
Very little in the press about it all. So I'd be surprised if England could get anything out of it.
Okay, now the team I thought were absolute certainties until the COVID came is Denmark. Even without their English-based players, you think they'll be too good for Iceland?
I think they probably will be, but that's, this has thrown everything up in the air a little bit. So without their Premier League players, and I don't know if there's any other restrictions. I'm not aware, but it's possible that there could be restrictions on 1 or 2 other overseas players because of the situation there. So I think it'll be close. I'm not even sure that any of the Premier League-based Icelandic players can go either. So I think that's going to be a tight game. Denmark should win that. They're expected to, and if so, then that puts them in a very good position in the group.
Yeah, also Iceland play a European qualifier tonight, don't they? Are they away to Hungary, I think I saw? So they'll be going for that.
Because of that, you somehow think, that's where their energy is going to be.
Yes.
And they're pretty certain to finish bottom and get relegated from the Nations League, Iceland. So I'm not sure, that's foremost on their thoughts. They've got to get through this match at Hungary.
Okay, Steve, on to Nations League B. We've got Slovakia and Scotland. They both got European qualifiers tonight, so their mind will be elsewhere. The only thing is, if Scotland win this game, they top the group and get promoted to the Nations League A. A draw written all over this?
I think so. Yeah, it's I'd be surprised if Scotland win it. Especially as they've got a tough game in Serbia,
yes.
Obviously tonight. But they've surprised everybody really with the way that they've played recently.
Yeah.
But I think they have got a tough game tonight. I think this is the one that they want to get through. I think they would definitely take a draw in Slovakia, but I think there'll be a tough game for them.
Yeah. Now Turkey hosts Russia. I went for Russia in the last game. Turkey totally outplayed them. 16-10 Turkey, a good price?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that they've not had the best campaign, so I think that they want to try and finish on a high this week. So I wouldn't be surprised if they edge that, Turkey.
Now Finland upset the French last night in France. I think 13-10 is a good price against Bulgaria.
Yeah, not pretty good actually. I think that Bulgaria have been very disappointing in the last couple of campaigns. Although they don't travel that well, Finland, I think they could go there and get a result.
Yeah. Last but not least, on a particular page, we've got Wales against the Republic of Ireland. Wales without Ryan Giggs, obviously. Another tight game.
It will be. The Republic play England in a friendly tonight in a rearranged game. Wales have had a fantastic tournament. They topped the group. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they win that and win the group. So I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Republic have been very disappointing, sort of unlike them. They're normally a tough team to beat. They haven't won a game in the Nations League yet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what sort of team they put out and how they play it against England tonight.
Yeah, I watched the game last time. I thought they had the better chances, but as you say, Wales, they've just been squeaking 1-0, 1-0 and 1-0. Anyway, on to Romania versus Norway. How do you see that?
Well, Norway should be favourites, but they don't travel that well, and I think Romania at home might be too strong. So I think that's not a bad bet there, because I think we've got Norway as favourites, but I think in Romania, I think they might just edge that.
Yeah, I watched the last game. Norway beat them 4-0. They destroyed them. I just couldn't believe how bad Romania were. Remember, they got Harling up front. I think it's Sorloth, the other RB Leipzig. I think there's plenty of goals. I like Norway, but I agree.
Yeah, they didn't have a good campaign before, but I think they've come a bit stronger now. Yeah, and I think obviously with Harling up front, obviously there are goals there, aren't there? Haaland is just an exceptional young player. Yeah. So it'll be a tight game. I think they, hopefully there are goals, but I think Norway have got themselves in a decent position, but they don't always travel that well. So it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah, true. Now, top of that particular group, or joint top, is Austria. They beat Northern Ireland 1-0 in Ireland. You think they'll be too good for them at home?
I think they will be. Northern Ireland, as we know, play
tonight.
Big game tonight against Slovakia. I think Austria will be too strong, and I think Austria will probably still win that group.
Yeah, I know, Austria, Norway. That's why I like Norway. They've got to go for it. Now, the Czech Republic, they were on last night. Did they draw? They got beat by the Germans 1-0. Second against third against an Israeli team. We've only won one of their 4 games. Czech Republic too good?
Yeah, I think the Czech Republic should be a bit too strong at home.
Yeah.
So obviously in Scotland's group, but I think they'll win that. I think they'll be too strong for Israel.
Okay, and last but not least, 2 teams that got European playoff games on Thursday night. Hungary against Serbia. 17-10. Hungary looks a good price, Steve.
Sorry, Hungary. Yeah. Serbia have had a very disappointing Nations League. They haven't won a game. So, Serbia obviously are playing Scotland tonight in a big game, which is obviously more important to them. Yeah. So I just can't see the teams who are playing in the European Championship playoffs tonight. I'm not sure that they'll be able to put sort of 2 big games together in the space of 3 days. So probably Hungary there for me.
All right, Steve. Pressure time again. Last week you're successful. I need your best bet and your best value bet, please.
Yeah, I'm going to go for my best bet. So I'm going to go for Sunderland.
Sunderland,
should be too strong. too strong for MK Dons. And my value bet, I'm going to go for Peterborough. I think that they're having a really good run at the moment, and I think they should be far too strong for Crewe.
All right, so you're keeping your money in the UK. Steve, thanks again, as always. Great information. And just remember, you've got a week off to plan your next pick. Just don't pick Man United next week, Steve. I think half the troop will be on them, seeing they play West Brom. But
I think they will be, but the guarantee is there is no guarantee, isn't there?
No.
So if you look at the last tournament, people were going out left, right, and centre. So yeah, it's. As you say, I've got another week to think about it. It'd be nice to get through to round 4 if I can get through this one.
Yeah, well, I know one team you won't be picking next week will be Spurs. Steve, all the best.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bud.
See you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care. Yeah, thanks, UK correspondent Stevie Brom in our Fulham studio. Now we go on to our Soccer 6 exotic for Saturday. We start in League One, where I'm going Accrington Stanley to win or draw at Northampton Town. I'm going the field in the Shrewsbury Town versus Swindon Town game. I think Bristol Rovers will avoid defeat against Fleetwood Town, so I'm going Bristol Rovers 1 and 2. I'm banking Carlisle to beat Cheltenham, Colchester United to beat Leyton Orient, and ending with the field in the Harrogate Town versus Crawley Town, 2-1-6. AFCON/Euro Soccer 6, I'm banking Egypt to beat Togo. I'm going the Congo Democratic Republic to avoid defeat at home against Angola. I'm going the field in the Portugal-France clash. I don't see Croatia losing in Sweden. I think the Germans will be too good for the Ukraine. And I'm looking for the upset in the Switzerland-Spain fixture, 2-1-6. On to our Soccer 10. I'm going Benin, win and draw at home against Lesotho. I'm going Latvia, win and draw at home against the Faroe Islands. I'm going Montenegro, win and draw in Azerbaijan. I don't see Luxembourg losing in Cyprus. I'm banking Egypt to beat Togo. I'm banking the Congo Democratic Republic to beat Angola. I'm siding with Portugal to avoid defeat against the French. I'm going Croatia, win and draw in Sweden. Banking Germany to beat the Ukraine, and ending up with Spain, win and draw in Switzerland, 2-56. On to our Soccer 13, I'm going Croatia, win and draw in Sweden. I'm going Portugal, win and draw at home against the French. Germany, banker to beat the Ukraine. Had to find another banker, so I'm chancing Spain to beat Switzerland. I'm going Luxembourg, win and draw in Cyprus. Likewise, Montenegro, win and draw at Azerbaijan. I don't see Latvia losing at home to the Faroe Islands. I'm going Sylvia to beat RK Frege in the Swedish Superettan. I'm banking Belgium to beat England. I think the Italians will be too good for Poland. I'm chancing the Republic of Ireland to avoid defeat in Wales. I don't see Turkey losing at home to Russia and ending up with Norway to win in Romania, 2-56. On to our Budgie's best bets for the weekend. We start off in Nations League A. I think Belgium will beat England. I'm going Denmark, despite their UK players not being available, to win by more than 1 goal at home against the Icelandic. And I'm backing Germany to beat the Ukraine and both teams to score. Our Nations League B bet is the Czech Republic to beat Israel, Norway to beat Romania. I'm going Austria to beat Northern Ireland by more than 1 goal. And I'm going the Republic of Ireland to win or draw in Wales, 2,800 to 200. Our team goals only bet, I'm going Austria, Denmark and Norway, all to score over 1.5 goals. And I'm going Switzerland and the Republic of Ireland to score only 1 goal, 2,800 to 200. Our both teams to score sides are Hungary, Serbia. I'm going Sweden, Croatia, Switzerland, Spain, and Turkey, Russia, 2,600 to 200. Our English League One treble, I'm going Peterborough to win at home to win at Crewe Alexandra. I'm going Hull City to beat Burton Albion by more than 1 goal. And I'm going Sunderland to beat the MK Dons and over 2.5 total goals, 2,900 to 200. Our Collis King 6 Onyxa, I'm going Austria to beat Northern Ireland. I'm going the Czech Republic to beat Israel. I'm going Germany to beat the Ukraine. I'm going Greece to win in Moldova. I think the Norway will be too good for Romania, and Hull City to beat Burton Albion 16 to 1. So 3,200 to 200 is my play. My best bet of the weekend, I'm signing with Norway. I know Steve doesn't fancy them away from home, with Erling Haaland, who for me, the top young striker in the world in force. I think they will be too good for Romania. So 12-10 is my play of the weekend. And my value bet at 15-10 is Croatia to win in Sweden. Sweden battle to score goals while Croatia score plenty. So at 15-10, I think it's worth a few rand. Thank you for listening, and please remember to stay onside.